These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, January 5th. Apologize in advance for these sniffles. And if you see my camera turn off if you're watching on YouTube, I'm just sneezing. I'm clearly sick.
A self-conscious sneezer.
Yeah.
That is not something I've seen.
Well, no, it is. I was doing like this. I was like ducking out of the frame to like wipe my nose or something. My dad texted me. He goes, "Can you turn your camera off when you do that?" And so my dad made me feel
Oh, so he has instilled the self-doubt in you.
Pretty much.
As all good fathers do.
We were doing a live stream the other day. I had to cancel a stream because I just didn't feel up to it. We were doing one the other night, and Sam was sick coming into it. And then midway through, I like sneezed 3 times. And since then, I've just been like sneezing, sniffling, congested, all the mess. And I've been taking, as Birkin and Landon and our loyal viewers, I've been taking my vitamin C, my chewies, my gummies, and I've been taking my I have Dayquil on deck ready to go. So I'm better. But
you know what you got to do?
Might be there.
You got to start pounding back. I'm not going to grab them because
I will not.
The powder, vitamin C tablets.
I refuse to drink the powder in the water.
Jack hates them.
Horrendous.
You put the whole thing in there. It fizzes.
So I got
up.
the gummies.
You do both.
No.
You just turn into a big orange.
Well, you're a fan of seltzer water, though, right?
Yes. Big fan
horrendous.
Of seltzer.
Horrible. The worst.
Well, it's not good at first, but you start drinking it all the time. That's all you drink. It starts to taste like soda.
No, terrible. Absolutely
best flavors. Pretty much anything citrus, orange.
Zoe loves
mango,
it.
The pineapple coconut is good.
There's
Raspberry lime, very good.
There's this like guava one that Zoe likes. It's LaCroix, I think. She's a big fan.
It's the premium.
Yep. Well, that's when she says, "Jack, can you pick me up seltzer water at Target?" That's when I'm buying it.
it's that one.
Yeah, no. I've never been able to get on board.
I'm very loyal to the Stop and Shop brand and also the Price Right brand.
Fair.
Right? I do not do the premium.
We love value brands. Very top notch. Except I will say the only not acceptable value brand, you cannot buy value brand cereal. It's not okay. I can't do it. That is like,
see, I don't really eat cereal.
Chips. Really? See, I used to not a lot, but I've been eating Cheerios lately. Frosted Cheerios have been my kick.
Now, chips,
very happy.
Chips are very important to get right, I think, because if you're gonna have dangerous. That, you might as well have it.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one. Same with what was I thinking? Peanut butter. You can't taste a big difference, but if I'm gonna get, I'd rather Skippy than
Skippy is the brand.
Skippy's normal. I will say Zoe though. Zoe eats all natural. Zoe, my girlfriend, by the way, all natural peanut butter, which is like no sugar added. Horrible. The worst thing on the planet. Just, it's not peanut butter. It's I don't even know. It's just butter with like a hint of nuts. You gotta eat it. It's awful. No.
That's the rules. You gotta eat. If you're gonna have the junk, you gotta have it.
I agree.
Like back in my prime when I was crushing pints of ice cream twice a week, I was having it. Whole pint. Now, past my prime, can't do it. I don't do it anymore. And now that I don't do it, I can't do it. Because if I do, I won't feel well.
I'm not a big...
Not good fuel for the runs.
I don't eat ice cream a ton. I'm a sucker for like peanut butter cup ice cream because that's, amazing. But the other kind, my mom picked it up. I remember it's from Roach Brothers. I don't know if you're familiar with Roach Brothers.
What is that? Is that
local? It's
a
Stop and Shop. It's a grocery store. Yeah. Maybe it's just a Massachusetts thing or my area, but they have this black raspberry chip or something. Like, I don't know if it's frozen yogurt or ice cream, but it's very, very good. It's like dark chocolate, big chunks.
I'm a big fan of dark chocolate.
Me too.
If I'm eating chocolate, I prefer dark to milk.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. Not a lot of people like
that. Not a lot of people like the dark chocolate, but it's better to me. I don't know. The milk like sticks around. There's like an aftertaste.
Yes.
Dark chocolate, no problem.
Pasty. The milk chocolate's too pasty. Like it's stuck to my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice to have like the snap of the dark chocolate.
Plus they say dark chocolate's better for you.
Yeah. Another bonus. I love me some dark chocolate.
I'll tell you what. 10:34 now.
Yeah.
I've been going since 4:45.
Brutal.
And I started the day with a run. Now, typically on a day where I'm up that early, I will go running inside. today I was running late. I did not have the time.
Where
to
do you run
drive
inside? To
the
track somewhere?
gym.
Okay.
Gym treadmill. I did not have time to go to the gym, so I ran outside. Let me tell you, when you run before the sun comes up, it is terrifying. You are out there. Now, when I start my run, there is a bike path near my house that I usually start on. I did not make the mistake of doing it today, but in the past, when I've ran in the dark, I've started on the bike path, no lights.
Yikes.
I mean, I have the flashlight on all the time.
On your head? Do you wear a flashlight?
No, on my phone. I carry my phone. Carry my phone.
Gotcha.
The most terrifying run ever, when I was working at the news station before I did the morning shift, it was very early in my morning shift career. And it was midsummer. It was supposed to be 100 degrees out that day. So had I waited, I would have had to wait till I got home. It would have been 100 degrees. So I go overnight. It's only like 80 degrees. 2:30 in the morning I go out.
Yikes.
That, like, today was terrifying. That was another level.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
And it was still hot. So that was the hardest run I think I've ever had. Because, like, not only, like, I probably had, like, a shortness of breath because I was, like,
Scared?
but
Yeah.
I mean, I had this big ass reflective vest on that didn't fit me. It's my dad's. Now I just wear, like, white. But that was the start to my day.
My start to the day was very late. I slept in very late. I did not do much. I ran a bunch of errands.
Jack, who wakes up halfway through my shift at work.
This is true.
I'll text Jack, like, before I go in, and it'll be 2:30, and I get a response.
Yeah, pretty much. That lines up. That lines up. I did some errands today. I got up. I went to Target. Love Target. I went to Hilliard's chocolate store in my town. Got some gifts for my girlfriend's parents for the holidays. Normal stuff. It was a good day. It was a productive day. Came home, watched the Celtics, ate my chicken sandwich. It was nice. It was good. And I get to ride the train tomorrow. I get to go on Amtrak. I'm very excited. I love the train. Big train guy.
Big on the
Very
train?
hyped.
See, I couldn't tell you
Love the
last time I
train.
took a train.
Me neither. Before I
spoiled.
had to start commuting back and forth to excuse me, Ithaca. I don't think I'd ever taken Amtrak, but now I love it. I love it. I'd rather take the train than drive. I'd rather take the train than fly. Anything.
Oof.
I'd rather double the length.
Aren't you
of
afraid of
flight.
flying?
Oh, definitely hate it.
Yeah,
hate it,
that's
hate it.
why.
See, it was better. The last time I flew to Ireland, like, I felt more calm for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe just getting used to it, but getting better. Don't mind flying as much. Think I'm going back in the spring. I'm okay. Not as bad anymore. I think the fear is easing a bit. But anyways, we have blabbed on enough. We can talk Celtics. We have two games to talk about, two very important games to talk about because they're kind of both sides of the coin for the Celtics. I can hear the congestedness in my voice, by the way. I'm apologizing again.
You can?
I can hear, like, in my head, I can, like, hear the crack. Apologies for the
You sound relatively normal.
All right, maybe it's in my head.
And you're not really sniffling today.
Well, there was one for you right there. But last two games for the Celtics, they snapped a 2-game losing streak to open 2023. Lost to the Nuggets. Obviously, we talked about that in the last pod. Then they lost to the Thunder in embarrassing fashion. Let the Thunder score franchise record-setting 150 points. Terrible defense. But then they played one of their better defensive games of the season against the Mavericks. Blew them out. Beat up on Luka Doncic. Which game did you want to talk about first? You want to go in order or what?
Let's touch on the Thunder game briefly because I think that'll be shorter, and then once we start with the Dallas game, there won't be a reason to go back, so we can start.
I agree. Well, the first words I have in, like, the little show sheet I have next to me: defense down bad. The defense was down horrendous against the Thunder. Like I said, 150 points allowed. They allowed 5 different Thunder players to score 20 or more points, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't even play. They let Jalen Williams, who is becoming a Celtics killer in his own right, 21 points. Trey Mann, another Celtics killer, which Sam will have a stat about, I believe, in a second. Isaiah Joe, 20 points. Luke Dort, 20 points. Josh Giddey, 20-plus points. All of them 20-plus points. And then Aaron Wiggins, 17. Kendrick Williams, 10 points. Jalen Williams off the bench, 8 points. It was all around terrible game for the Celtics, probably their worst of the season. The offense wasn't even, like, horrendous. They weren't hitting shots well, but they ended up with 117 points. They shot decently well from the field. They just absolutely flopped on the defensive end, and that's all I really cared about because it was that bad.
Yeah. You're not winning any games giving up 150 points in regulation. You're just not. It's not how it goes. As far as Trey Mann goes, Jack kind of teased it. After playing the Celtics twice, he is sixth all time on the all-time list for points per game against the Celtics at 28. 35 the other day, 21 the first time. He'll be in the trivia. He'll be there. Little
out.
tease.
Yes, sir.
But aside from that, really frustrating game. It's too bad Jack was sick yesterday because the stream would have been something else. I would have been very upset.
I know.
We talked pre-game before that game when we found out SGA was not going to play. And we were all like, free win. So were the Celtics. That's what they did. And they had to go out there and play.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for them because they
No.
looked real lethargic, didn't care. Brogdon admitted that they didn't care, which was really bad.
Said they relaxed. Terrible.
Yeah, well, it's even more annoying because we all knew it. You don't come out and say it. You don't say that. Just say it wasn't your night or something. I don't know. Because that just pissed me off even more. As silly as it sounds, and as meaningless as a game as it's going to be in a year, that felt like a game that it was really important for them to win at the time. You just lost against Denver on New Year's. Really didn't look like it was that horrible of a game for you. They kind of shot the lights out. The defense wasn't great, but there were some encouraging stats shuffled in there. Tuesday, you got nothing. No defense to be happy about. They couldn't hit shots. The offense sucked. Ball didn't move. It literally was, like you said, the worst game of the year.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say, I understand being frustrated that Brogdon would say that. I think at the same time, though, some people respect the blatant honesty. Like if like Joe Mazzulla for a lot of the season has said, oh, you need to lose games like this. Like even after the Thunder, he said something along the lines of, it's not going to be a popular statement, but sometimes you need to go through shit to get to where you want to go. And I agree with him to some degree. Like you're always going to have losses. That's not saying that was an acceptable loss. That was an exception. Even Joe said, I didn't mean this bad, but like it was bad. But I understand Brogdon like owning up saying, yeah, we messed up. We relaxed. It was a mistake. I'd rather him say that than, like you said, like I'd rather him say that than say, oh, it just wasn't our night, because that's bogus. They knew they messed up. Like even like Jaylen Brown was like, that was embarrassing, because it was.
Yeah, but I prefer what Jaylen said to what Brogdon said. I think Jaylen did it right, and he said we had it coming. We kind of deserved to get our asses kicked. Like that's fine. You can say that, but like don't like tell all these people that some of them went out there and paid money to come see you play that you didn't really take it seriously or. Or relaxed or said it first of all, or not first of all, but like that's another thing. Like you're gonna give the other team more motivation. Not that you need to. You're done playing them for the season, but you don't need to say that. They'll remember that for next season when they're back.
Yeah. They'll probably be good next year too.
Thunder
are gonna be good next year too.
They'll have more reinforcements. SGA's been good, and they didn't even have him.
Chet's going to be playing next year.
Is a pain in the ass every time that he plays the Celtics, and Chet will be back, like you said. So
and maybe Wembanyama
and Giddey played really well.
Whatever rookie they get in the draft, they'll be good. But I know what you're saying. I understand it. It was just if the Celtics could erase that game from their memory, I think they could. Or excuse me, I think they should, and I think they would, because it was that bad. And I don't really know if there's anything else to say. I mean, Jaylen Brown made his shots. That was cool. Jason Tatum had 27 points. Sure, whatever. But like none of it mattered because they didn't get any stops. I remember there was one play towards the end of the half or maybe the third quarter where Jalen Williams just kind of took the ball, ran up the court, and just dunked it. Right? Like there was no resistance. There were like 3 seconds left on the clock. He took the ball, he ran up, he dunked it. And that kind of emblemized isn't the right word. I don't even think that is a word. Embodied, yes, what the entire game was. It was just the Thunder getting whatever they wanted inside. What the Thunder, they shot well from 3 too.
Oh, they shot 59-50.
Yeah, which is absurd, by the way. But
Denver similar, 57-56 on Sunday.
Defense was bad to start the year. Those first 2 games was absolutely horrendous. Like Celtics defense, like for the entirety of December, the Celtics made a ton of good progress on defense, and then it was like in January,
all month.
Exactly, and then it was like in January, they just kind of forgot like everything they did. They bounced back against the Mavericks, but still, I think they have some defensive inconsistencies they need to address for sure. But anything else you want to say about the Thunder game?
Yeah,
Like you
I
said,
mean, I say it all the time just to hop on what you said.
yeah,
When you're struggling offensively, which we saw them do for the back half of December, you have to buckle down, play defense, play hard, hustle, crash the boards, whatever it takes, and control what you can actually control. You can't control the ball going in, but you can control how hard you play, what kind of effort you put in.
100%.
Defense is an effort thing. And sure, there's absolutely some teamwork that goes into it, some scheming. You have to play as a unit, the rotations, all of that. But as an individual, you have the most you can give and control on that end of the floor. So you have to do it when shots aren't falling. They didn't fall against OKC. They didn't really fall against Denver. But when you're not doing anything defensively, when you're giving up 150 points, you're not going to win. They still scored 117, like you said, Jack. And on the season, they average about 118. So that was an average offensive game, despite the large amount of garbage time played and so on. There's plenty of like little nuances to it.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's really discouraging when you saw them play a game against Denver that you felt like they were kind of in, which they were. They were kind of in it the whole time, enough to keep you from turning the game off, enough to make you sit through the entire 40 minutes of them fixing that rim that you thought, maybe they can get it together and come back. There were flashes. There were things to be excited about. And you were like, okay, OKC is going to be a get-right game. They need to get their feet under them. They need to prove they can win on the road, and they didn't. And they played the worst game of the season. And, in 6 months, we can all not even think about it. Who knows? It might mean nothing.
I said this on the pregame show. I turned it off in the fourth quarter. I started watching something else.
I've turned more games off this season than I probably ever have.
Damn.
Which is like 3. But I never turn off games just because it's like, like in August, I'll really be wishing I could watch a game. That's the way I think. That's why I try not to miss games.
I had it on a side monitor, but it was
when they lost in Chicago the second time. I think I turned. Actually, it might have been both times I turned it off. I don't remember.
Chicago games.
One of them I did, and oh man, I don't. The Clippers game I turned off the first one because it was late. I wanted to go to bed.
Yeah, that one was bad too. Yeah, I mean, and they all have the same theme. It's just the Celtics not coming to play. They're not playing their potential. They're not trying hard enough on defense. It's an effort thing with the Celtics, which is what we've been.
It's frustrating
since the start of last year. Yeah,
as fans, you get frustrated. You have expectations for the team coming into the season, and you really want to see them perform well and get right before the playoffs. There are a lot of pieces that are still getting integrated in. Brogdon has been up and down, which kind of sucks, but he looked good against Dallas, which we'll get into. Sam Hauser has been a new key rotation piece for them this year. Luke Cornett has had a bigger role. Not that those guys haven't had their moments where they've been good, but you really need a lot out of these rotation guys. And in those 2 games where they struggled, the team as a whole, the rotation guys weren't giving them a lot. You're not even seeing those guys take a lot of shots. Al Horford wasn't taking a lot of shots. Smart, Derek White, Brogdon was the only one that really shot anything in that OKC game.
Yeah,
they need to be able to give those guys more opportunities to be a part of the offense because it makes your offense more difficult to contain. And again, we'll get into the Dallas game, but you saw more of that. And that's what made the difference. We can jump right in now. Even early on, it was a whole different story. They're moving the ball like crazy and the shots are falling. It's not rocket science. If you move the ball and you play the right way, good things will happen to you. Scal talks about it during the broadcast. When the ball moves, it's easier to get in a rhythm. You're not forcing. You feel like you're doing the right thing. There's no doubt in your mind. Should I take this shot? Should I do this? They're working as a team. And that's what helped them get off to such a great start and really never look back against Dallas. It was a great scene. The defense was much better. We'll talk about how poorly Dallas shot. They kind of took care of Luka, who was a little bit hobbled. So you can put an asterisk next to it if you want. And without him, this Dallas team is nothing. It's me and the boys. But
yeah.
Good showing. In a game I thought they would lose. I thought Dallas had won 7 straight. Celtics tailspin, thought they'd lose. That's how it works in the NBA, though. A lot of these type games.
The last 2 games the Celtics have played at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Luka had hit buzzer beaters to win the game, so I kind of thought it was going to go down to that. But Celtics, blew him out of the water. It was a great game to watch, like you said. I was very impressed. Luka Doncic, again, like you said, was a little bit injured. It seemed like his ankle's off. He seemed sick, like he was coughing and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Sometimes when you're out of shape, it catches up to you.
I don't think Luka's out of shape.
You don't think Luka's out of shape?
No.
You don't think Luka's the slightest bit out of shape?
I don't think he's like 6-pack in shape like Tatum and Brown, but I don't think he's out of shape. No,
I think he's.
I think he's.
I don't know. He gets away with it
Hmm.
because the way he plays, he doesn't have to play super athletic, super crazy, super fast. He's more of a fundamental footwork, and he looks like he moves in slow motion, but he catches the defense. But he is not in real like crazy NBA shape. He's not.
I think he's fine. I think it works for him, and I think he utilizes that bulkiness, I guess, if you want to call it. Like I don't think Luka would be as good with a 6-pack. I'll put it that way. As weird as it sounds. Like if he was like full 6-pack jacked like Tatum, I don't think he'd be as good. Because I don't think he'd be able to move as fluidly. And again, like I said, I don't think he's out of shape. Like I'll find a picture here quick. Obviously, I couldn't find anything like with him without a jersey on, but excuse me, like here's the picture I'm looking at. Check it out on YouTube. Like this doesn't look like he's out of shape to me. Like he looks fine. Like he doesn't look out of shape.
He looks like another guy in the park. He doesn't look like an NBA player.
I think
in terms of fitness.
But anyways, Luka didn't come to play, or excuse me, he didn't have his best game.
Let us know what you think about that one. I'm curious.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Let us know. Birkin, Landon, Jonathan, all the regulars, Jimmy J. 23, 9, and 3 for Luka. Fine game. He didn't shoot very efficiently. He didn't hit a 3. Celtics defended him well. I think Christian Wood didn't have a good game either. 12 points. He had 12 boards, so
Smash
it was fine,
the odds pick hits under 18.5 on
there
Wood.
you go. Dinwiddie had 18 points. I had Derek White. Derek White hit over 1.5 threes. Rob rebounds hit for me. Grant Williams did not. But
Grant Williams did everything else except I didn't hit. It was the Rob total. All he did was rebound. He didn't really score today.
Tough, very tough. But as for the Celtics, they played a really good all-around game. Jason Tatum. This is my thing. We can talk about this quickly. Jason Tatum had a triple-double, second of his career, 29 points, 14 boards, 10 assists. I didn't when it was happening. I didn't know he was having a triple-double. Like it didn't seem like it was this crazy all-around amazing Jason Tatum game to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I wasn't watching close enough, but it just looked like another normal game for him. But then he finished with a triple-double. Right? Am I wrong? Right?
No, I agree. And this is why I really kind of am over the triple-doubles. Like there are triple-doubles where you're like, damn, that guy really had his hands all over the game.
He played good. I'm not saying he played bad, but
he was fine.
It wasn't like
he had a good game. It was good. It was on national TV. It was against Luka, another MVP candidate. Good night for Tatum to show up. And he really got it together in the second half after a slower start. None of them looked good in the first half. Tatum, Brown, Luka, all of them were slow, missing shots. They said it on the broadcast, 2 of 14 from 3 at one point combined. Not a good showing. But Tatum got it together in the second half, was on the glass all night, which is a good thing. That is a positive, and that's an impactful thing because he didn't have it going in the first half, like I said, but he found another way to try and get in the game. The assists were not a thing I really felt from Tatum throughout the game. He had 6 in the fourth quarter, and then he got the last 4. And the game was kind of over by that point, so maybe that's why you didn't feel like his hands were all over the game. But we're at a time where guys know if they're close to that, and they kind of hunt for it. I don't really care. He got a triple-double. Cool. You can put it in your stat book. But the last assist, you watched the local broadcast, right?
I didn't only because I tweeted at the start of the game. There was a ringing in my ear when I turned on the local broadcast. There was this weird tone ringing in my ear, so I just turned it off and watched national. It was brutal. It was unwatchable. Anyways,
but the last assist was to Derek White. He kicked it to Derek White in the corner, and Derek White pretty much created his own layup. But they gave him the assist.
I saw a tweet saying it was the scorekeeper was very generous.
Yeah, very generous on the assist. So triple doubles to me are overrated. I don't get wowed by when we talked about Jokic, him putting up a triple doubles, whatever. That's just his role. They play through Jokic. He's important to them.
I think triple doubles are still impressive and they're still important. I don't think it's as much of this big jaw dropping stat as you used to think about when Russ was doing it, although Russ did it for half the season, which was insane. But
well, to me, I think Russ ruined it.
Sure,
because he hunted that for that. That's what makes them more empty to me is people Russ that just want the numbers.
I think Russ, very different play style, but like Russ was just Luka before Luka was Luka, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously very different play styles, but we're talking about a guy who literally everything runs through. They're gonna get the boards. They're gonna be the passer. They're gonna be the scorer. That's what he did on those OKC teams when, excuse me, KD left. And obviously, I think Luka's better at doing it,
different
and
levels
more
of
impactful.
success at doing it.
Yes, as in Luka made the conference finals last year and Russ got bounced
Yeah.
in the first round of the playoff, right? But you know my point though, like the guy that will take over, and you can run everything through him. I don't think it makes it any less impressive. Like saying, "Oh, Lukas aren't impressive because they run through him." I don't think it's fair because, like, I mean, what the hell? What do you want him to do? Run through Spencer Dinwiddie, right? Like it's
No,
you can't. I can't.
it's not on Luka. It's just like I don't know. Like I don't care. Like I don't even care about the Tatum one. I don't care. The
Sure.
impressive. I don't know. I can't really think of one that like I think is super impressive anymore. It just doesn't impress me because everybody
Right.
knows about it. Gets talked about so much. I feel like guys chase it. It's just like all right, like whatever. You just had a game.
I know what you mean. I don't really care. I still think it's impressive. I think it's a good barometer for how impactful you were that game. Like 10 assists, that means okay, Tatum had a good passing game. 29 points still. Okay, that means he was pretty good, although he was inefficient in getting those points, which we can
I'll
talk
say
about in this,
this. I'll say this. When scorers rack up assists, it's testament to them playing the correct way.
Yeah.
It shows they're not forcing as much, which you can chalk up as a positive. And we've talked about this before, but I always find it more impressive when guys that aren't the star get all the assists, like a point guard, like somebody like
Marcus Smart.
Smart or well, he's the first example that comes to mind.
Mhm.
But
Mike
there are
Conley,
other guys that'll do it, like a Mike Conley,
Lowry. I know you don't like
guys that
Lowry, but
aren't playing. Like the whole focus isn't them, and they're
Mhm.
still creating shots and looks for guys. Like that to me is impressive. It's less.
Sure.
I don't really care. Like if the defense is sending doubles at you, you should be able to find the open guy. Like congrats.
Well, yes, but like at the same time, you have to give that player credit for being good enough for the defense to send two guys, right? Like
No,
Luka Doncic is.
it's not that. That it's true. Drawing a double, having the gravity is a big trait. It's a big important thing,
Mhm.
and it makes it easier on your teammates. But I don't know. It's not as hard to create chances when somebody's open.
Sure, I understand.
When you create just by being there, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you have to get there. You have to earn the double team.
It's easier to get guys open, 100%. But Jaylen Brown shot pretty efficiently against the Mavericks, only 19 points, but it was an efficient 19 points, 6 for 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Good game from him. Al Horford got targeted on defense by Luka, but he was all right. Not much there. Rob Williams also solid, 3 points, 7 boards, and a tech, which I don't really understand what happened. I don't know if you caught it.
Was it a delay game?
No, he got a tech. He ran up to the ref and started yelling at him, "Call that shit!" And I didn't
Rob did?
exactly see. Yeah, Rob got a
Oh,
tech.
I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but Smart and Brogdon both had 15 points. Smart 15, 5 and 3. Brogdon 15, 3 and 4. Grant Williams had 12, 4 and 3 off the bench. We can talk about him in a sec. Derek White 10 points. We'll talk about him too, but we can start with Grant. He didn't do as much in the second half, but first half, Grant Williams was a force to be reckoned with. I was very happy. Keith mentioned it on Twitter. You mentioned it on Twitter. It was a good night. Grant Williams was doing everything you want to see Grant Williams doing. I'll say this because, first of all, was it Stan Van Gundy on the call or Jeff Van Gundy on the call?
Don't know. It was Stan because it was TNT.
Regardless, the Van Gundys love Grant Williams.
Really?
I don't know if you've noticed this, but I think it's Stan mainly. I think it's Stan Van Gundy mainly. Ever since the playoffs, all this dude can talk about is Grant Williams. He loves Grant Williams.
I avoid TNT at all costs.
During the Bucks series, he was
have
just
Brian Anderson.
I don't mind Brian Anderson.
He sucks. He's horrible.
I know you don't like.
He cannot add anything to any moment. I'm sorry. I know you want to talk about Grant.
You're good.
If you give him like a big moment, he doesn't do anything for it. It's not Breen. It's not having Joe Buck on a call. I mean, these are greats I'm really comparing him to. It's kind of not fair.
Yeah.
But we've been spoiled. When you're a national broadcaster, that's kind of the standard. Kevin Harlan. These guys add to moments. Like, it's a shame that he got the Curry record-setting 3 last year. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. So, no, I'd rather listen to Grandy. Grandy's fine. Grandy's excellent.
Grandy's cool. I like Grandy. Grandy's
friend
good.
of the show. He talked to us once.
He did. But yeah, Stan Van Gundy absolutely loves Grant Williams. You heard it in the playoffs last year against the Bucks. He said it on the broadcast tonight. He's like one of the best individual defenders in the game. He's showing you what he can do. Absolutely has an agenda for Grant Williams, and I'm here for it. So I mean, shout out
Good
Van
on
Gundy.
him.
I love it. But Grant Williams is showing you why he's going to make $20 million this offseason, right? And you can make fun of me and you can say, oh, that's ridiculous. Grant should get $20 million. You're talking about a guy who can guard 1 through 5, for instance, right? You don't want him on a point guard or a center for more than a couple minutes, but he can do it. He guarded Ja this year. He guarded Jokic this year. The fact that he's been able to guard those two players effectively in the same season is a testament to how good he is on defense. He is a 40% three-point shooter. He turned his career around from his first couple seasons where he struggled, excuse me, and now he's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Right from the corners, he's electric. He's amazing, and he's spreading that out to the wing and the top of the key too. He's just a great all-around three-point shooter. And this year, as much as I've gotten on him for pump faking too much, he's practiced and perfected almost the ability to pump fake defenders because they're jumping at every pump fake he throws up now. Get past them. Not only can he finish at the rim, but he's also making dump off passes to Rob, to whoever's in the lane. He's passing well. And from his days back in Tennessee in college, he was posting up against the Mavericks. He was posting up, getting into the paint, getting these looks. He had an and one. He screamed at the crowd. Grant Williams is a $20 million player because of how young he is and everything he can do. He is the perfect NBA role player. He absolutely deserves 18 to 20 million. $18 to $20 million this summer.
There's your short right there.
That's what I was going for.
Yep. Grant's been great. I was really impressed with him against Dallas because he was a huge tone setter in this game. This was a game where the Celtics needed that from somebody. And they were talking about some story. He sent a group text or something to like tell them to get it together. And
about body language.
He walked the walk. He came out in the first half, put up 10 big points, made some impact plays, was all over there, hustling, making the right decisions. The and one he had was a great move on a drive. Really great stuff from Grant, and he had finished with 12 points, whatever. Like, if he didn't play in the second half, I don't really care. The tone setting, to me, was just a huge part. And it's a really, like, great testament to him as a leader. Even though, like, people clown on Grant all the time, and, like, we laugh at him. He is, like, nerdy, but he has good leadership qualities, and whether they always take him seriously or not is one thing, but he tries, and his mind is in the right place. He knows what it takes to motivate his teammates. And again, him walking the walk against the Mavericks is such a big thing. Like, that's huge.
He needed it. Yeah.
He was a key driving force in that win. And you saw the rest of the team follow suit. They continued to play hard. When he came in, mind you, the Celtics struggled to score in the first half of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Both teams.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 15 points in the first half, 8 points in the first quarter. Like, not a good performance from the Stars.
Nothing crazy.
No.
Grant, excellent. Good on Grant.
Brought it up.
Good for him. He deserves to be paid. They should have already extended him if they didn't.
20 million. I'm telling you, man. No, but Grant Williams, the thing is, and I said this last year, and I can't remember if I got flack for it or whatever. I think Grant Williams is the closest thing to Marcus Smart on the roster. Genuinely, right? You're talking about a guy who is going to be a leader. He's not going to be the best. Not going to be the best player in the team. I don't know if I said it or just thought it. Maybe it was just in my head. But I think Grant Williams, in terms of the impact, the leadership qualities, like just the ability to be a leader and a hustle player and all that stuff. Like, I think I said it his rookie year when he was making all those hustle plays. Like, I said, okay, he could be the next Marcus. I think he's kind of doing that. Like you said with the text, like, as much as maybe the players mock him or he's kind of a class clown, like, he is a leader on the Celtics team. Like you said with the text, like the way he carries himself, the way he, I mean, as much as a rat move as it is, he pisses off the refs. Like, he acts like a bigger player than he is, which is the one downside to his game that I'll very clearly admit. But he's a leader, and he's taking on a leadership role with the Celtics. It's clear the team respects him. He's come up for them in big moments, like the Game 7 against the Bucks. He's a hustle guy. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, but at the same time, he's going to make some big time plays. And he is arguably, outside of maybe Tatum Brown, the most versatile player on the roster, right? He can play the 3, he can play the 4, he can play the 5, he can guard 1 through 5, he can shoot threes, he can pump fake and drive the closeouts, he can defend the perimeter, he can defend the post, he can play in the post, he can get bully ball down low, he can make a dump off pass on a drive. he can do a little bit of everything. He's not like, Luka Doncic level at everything. He's not going to be as good a passer as Luka, as good a scorer as Tatum, as good of a rebounder as, I was about to say Gobert, as Sabonis, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But he is good enough at every skill to the point where he is like,
we just made all-star lists. You couldn't think of anybody.
Well, I'm talking about a rebounder. I'm
I
thinking
know
of a rebounder.
you had to pick Embiid. Pick anybody.
Sure. I want to think of like the best rebounder in the league, though, and I know Gobert's up there in boards. Anyways, my point is, he is like the perfect Swiss Army knife player with the leadership qualities attached to be worth like a hefty paycheck at what, 24, right? Like we're talking about a guy who is going to turn
24 million. I was like, oh boy.
No, 24 years old to turn into a Marcus Smart leader down the line, to turn into, I'm trying to think of others, excuse me, like the energy Bobby Portis brings off the bench for the Bucks. The Patrick Beverley type to just be on a playoff team and be that leader off the bench. And you don't have to like Patrick Beverley, but you can't deny the impact he has on winning outside of this year. Asterisks, please, asterisks. Before this year, the impact he's had on winning in the past. Like,
make this a short and have the the clip of him celebrating the play-in.
I might have to do that, but Kevon Looney in Golden State, like a glue guy. He's the perfect glue guy, and I don't think he gets enough credit. And obviously, I'm the biggest Grant Williams fan you're gonna find, but excuse me, I had a cough coming on. Brutal timing, but
the face,
the cough was bad. Our friend Banter, excuse me, is not gonna like this. He is probably one of the most important players on the roster, right? Like just everything he brings. I'm not saying he's as good as Horford or as good as Derek White or as good as anybody, but in terms of the leadership, the versatility, the two-way play, like if the Celtics if they could only protect X amount of players in an expansion draft, he's getting protected. I'll put it that way. Like it's clear he has the respect to that team. And I don't think that's valued enough, especially in contract negotiations. Like a team like the Pistons, like Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, you need a leader, you need defense, you need a little bit of everything around that team. 20 million, right? A team like the Pacers. Are you kidding me? Imagine Grant Williams playing alongside Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, right? Like I genuinely think he could average like 15, 7, and 3. You know what I'm saying? As a role player on that team, like I think his value is severely underrated. And I think the Celtics, like you said, made a big mistake when they didn't pay him.
Well, he averages about 10 now, right?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Around close to that. Like it's not too unrealistic to think he'll average 15. That's not why I was like smirking at Jack. Don't get me wrong.
8.8 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 50, 40, 85. 51, 44, 85.
I was smirking at Jack's sheer passion about the number 12.
Come on. I got to do it.
But to your point, he is very important. And when you were talking about him, I was really trying to think. I think Marcus Smart might be more versatile just because he is able to guard all the positions too. He's a great passer. He has those leadership qualities too. They both have extreme value to the team in terms of the amount of things they're able to do, which at the end of the day is the point. And keeping Grant around is going to be important. He's going to be worth the money.
Very important.
Because it feels like every single season he gets better.
Yeah.
His rookie year, he couldn't shoot. Since then, he's been able to shoot. Took a step down his sophomore season just because the minutes weren't really there, and there was really a lot going on. That was after the bubble. They were playing in the COVID season with no people in the arena. That's a weird season. After that, last year, he had a huge year, had a big jump. This year, he built off of the season he put together last year. Like you mentioned earlier, him learning to drive the closeouts has been such a great skill for him to learn because it makes him more than just a cone on offense, which is a weird thing to say because cones are on defense. But he's not just standing there. He's not some dude playing 2K that is standing in the corner. Yeah. I forget what they used to call. Oh, well, I do remember. I'm not going to say it.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. But he's more than that. He can do stuff with the ball, and you saw it against Dallas. He had a great game against Dallas. His creativity, his aggression in the first half to get the team rolling was really something to be impressed by. And I said it before the season, really thought they should pay him. You've seen him play good defense against great players throughout the playoffs. He's someone that is going to be a key piece to your success going forward. And if he continues to get better, which he probably will, he's not going to be some superstar, but he's going to continue to be solid for you. It's worth the money.
And I'll say this. I know everyone talks about how, an Al Horford replacement. With how well he defends centers, he can be your Al Horford replacement. I genuinely believe that. And I know
I
there's
disagree
some
because of the size, but I don't think there is necessarily an Al Horford replacement, but he is a very good alternative.
I think, I'll put it this way. I think you can run a starting lineup of Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, and then have a good enough, traditional big man off the bench to cover for it. Because I think you can have Grant Williams guard Jokic. I think you can have him guard Embiid. I think you can have him guard Giannis effectively enough where his versatility in the starting lineup is worth it, especially when you consider the fact that he's only 24. Like you said, he's still getting better. He's still getting stronger. He's still learning how to play. And if he gets enough reps next to Robert Williams, I think they can learn to play together very, very well. And I think down the line, when you're talking about, everyone likes to talk about the timeline of, earlier this summer, don't trade Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant because they're how young they are. We're talking about a guy who potentially, when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are in their prime, could be the team's fourth best player. Am I wrong? Behind Tatum, behind Brown, behind Rob, when Marcus is older and, a veteran, when D. White's a veteran, if he's still around, Brogdon's still around as a veteran, Jason Tatum, the 1, Jaylen Brown, the 1B, Robert Williams, number 3, Grant Williams, number 4. That's going to probably be what your core is looking like with the guys like Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard potentially still around, whoever else you want to bring up. But Al Horford's 36. He's not going to be around for 37, 36. Not going to be around forever.
36.
So having Grant Williams, a guy who not as big, obviously, which is a concern, but can guard these big guys well, you can't let him walk. If the Celtics lose Grant Williams in free agency this summer, it will be one of the biggest mistakes in a while, I would say.
Yeah. That's how you see good teams, contending teams, championship teams
fall off,
regress, and go back into mediocrity. You need to keep pieces around, especially right now. You haven't won anything yet. You still have something to work towards. You should have won something. You didn't. Did Grant play well in the finals? No. But
we don't have to talk about that.
But everything else is pretty valid. His improvement is pretty great. The only thing I disagree with is him guarding centers consistently. Not because he can't, but if you ask him to do that, it's kind of taking away from all the other things he can do.
Well, he has been doing that.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is in his sophomore season, he was asked to be a small ball 5 more often than not. And he struggled with that. He put on muscle for that, and it slowed him down and kind of made him worse. So when we've seen the best of Grant, that wasn't his job primarily.
It's not his primary
He's
job.
able to do it. And Giannis is different than the other two because Giannis plays all over the place. He plays mainly on the perimeter. You don't see a million posts up for Giannis. He scores more on the drive than a Jokic or an Embiid. And specifically with Embiid, I don't know if Grant's a great idea just because he'd have to be so physical with him because of his size. Embiid would milk that and take a million free throws.
I'll put it this way. Grant's top matchups this year, Jokic, Vucevic, Jimmy Butler, Franz Wagner, Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Max Strus, Draymond Green, Clint Capella, Nick Claxton, Isaiah Stewart, Kyle Lowry, Porzingis, John Morant, Zach LaVine. So it's a lot of centers, some star wings, some he does a little bit of everything. And I'm not saying having him guard, Embiid for 40 minutes a game like we saw Enes Freedom do last year is a good idea. But I'm just saying having him around as a maybe not a Horford replacement, but a Horford insurance is very good. It's very good. So
it's fair.
I'll leave it at that. But
the Horford succession is a very tough thing to think about. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, not worrisome. There's plenty of time, and they could find some young player, sign him. I mean, who knows? Maybe you end up liking Kevin Jelly. Who knows? That's how far away it is.
Sure. Plenty of time to figure it out. But the last thing Sam and I have to talk about tonight, All-Star game is coming up.
Mm.
We want to go over our All-Star predictions.
More so
you wanna-
Jack, because everybody knows once we start talking about not Celtics, I really shine.
I haven't been watching as much basketball outside of the Celtics as I might have liked this year, but I still keep up. And I like predicting stuff. I'm a big predicting fan. But so do you want to start in the East or the West?
Let's do the West.
Okay.
Because let's do the East. Let's do the East because the West is probably gonna be more fun.
Okay. Start in the East. You want to just do starters first? Or you want to we'll do starting guards first. Who are your starting guards, Sam?
So I have Donovan Mitchell and Jalen. I think Donovan's a no-brainer. He's been the best guard in the East.
100%.
He has been a game changer for the Cavs.
Amazing trade.
And of course, he had 71 points the other day, which was absolutely
I
insane.
went on some rant at the start of the season about how he's not even that much better than Colin Sexton. Egg on my face. Horrible. Terrible take. Own up to it. That was awful.
I remember that one.
That was a terrible take. Great. I will say, though, great trade for both sides. Jazz got a very good package out of that trade, too.
Jazz, fine.
If you're going to trade a star, get that in return. Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, I agree. Forwards. Who are your 3 forward starters in the East?
I have Tatum, Giannis, and KD.
Yep. I agree there. It's very, very tough to leave out Embiid, especially because he's playing more games now. But one of those 4 is not going to be able to start. Embiid's team is the worst.
That's when you open the standings tab.
That's yep. That is the logic I rolled with. And hey, I think Giannis will always start no matter what because his name is that big now. But if the Bucks slide enough and Embiid has a better record by the All-Star game, that's all it'll take, in my opinion. So keep that in mind.
Oof.
I don't know.
No,
Very
there's
close.
no. Giannis is a lock to start, and when we get to it, LeBron is, which is why he's there because he will never not.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, I understand what you're saying. I agree. All right. How do you want to do the bench? Do you want to just say the entire bench? Do you want to do our first 2 guards first?
2 guards,
by that?
forwards, then the reserves.
Okay, so your top 2 guards off the bench are...
Okay, so in the East, I had Kyrie because since he's come back, Brooklyn has been unreal.
I'm surprised. I thought you'd leave him out.
Well, you have to be a good unbiased journalist. And then I also have Tyrese Halliburton as the mainstay guard. I've said I think he might be the best in the league. The vote won't allow for that in the East. Plus Donovan Mitchell's, it's not point guard, it's guard. So Donovan's been better. His team's been better. But what Tyrese Halliburton has been able to get out of his teammates in Indiana and help them become is nothing that anyone could have predicted before the season, really. I know I thought the Pistons would be the team that did this, and it's the Pacers. So good for Halliburton. He's averaging double-digit assists. No, they are. They are not in the play-in right now.
They are.
Oh,
barely.
Yes, they are. They are.
I think they're tied, but yes.
It's very close.
They're making a push to the 6th seed, 100%. I have Kyrie as well, but I have Drew Holiday as my mainstay guard instead of Tyrese. We'll spoil it here. Do you have 2 guards for your 2 reserve spots? Or do you have a guard and a forward? You don't?
I do not.
Interesting. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, who are your 3 forwards then? I had Kyrie and Drew Holiday as my mainstay guards. Who are your 3 forwards?
So I have Embiid because he did not make the starters.
Yep.
And he is definitely an all-star.
Absolutely.
I have Julius Randle because you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I was not happy when I was looking at my options.
Sam was very upset when he
Now, if the standings were different, I would not.
I'm aware.
But unfortunately, the standings tell me I have to, so I did.
And then your 3rd forward?
My 3rd is Jimmy Butler.
I have the same. I have Embiid, Butler, Julius Randle as my 3 forwards. I think it's pretty clear cut. We can go over some potential alternates in a second after we do the reserves, but I agree. Who are your 2 reserves, your 2 anythings?
So I've got James Harden. He's got 22 and 11 on the season. Philly's towards the top half of the East.
They're climbing.
They're getting climbing there. And Harden's missed time, and when he's been playing, they've been playing a lot better. That kind of production is impressive. He's done a good job at being the point guard on that team. And last, I have Bam. Bam's putting up pretty much a double-double, 22 and 10 about. I think that's pretty impressive. The only problem is Miami's 10th. Not very good.
Yes.
Not very good right now. Not as good as they should be.
They're sitting in 8th, but they're not far away from 10th.
That's where it gets tough. But, I don't know. You don't have to put another front court guy in at this part of the all-star selection, but I don't know. I still feel like he deserves it. He's putting up good numbers. Bam has been someone that's always solid. I don't know. it feels hypocritical for
close.
me, but I don't have any. There's nobody that sticks out that I'm like, wow, that guy really deserves it.
Sure. I see what you're saying. I have Halliburton and Harden as my last two.
Yes.
The only difference in our All-Star ballot voting
Holiday
ballots,
over Bam.
Holiday versus Bam. Yeah, I had Holiday because I think top team and one of the top teams in the East. He's been playing great even when Giannis is out. Wanted to give him the nod. And the Heat
typically
don't have
I
a
am
good
that,
effort.
but I did not.
I will say potential guys that are borderline. Jalen Brunson, I think, deserves some, potential All-Star love. Kristaps Porzingis has been having a great season. I have Bam on my potential list. Siakam's been having a phenomenal season. DeMar DeRozan, Paolo Banchero, Brooke Lopez deserve some love on the Bucks.
Which
Trae
we both
Young,
kind
and
of
then-
nodded at before.
Yep, we did before we started. And then I have Marcus Smart with a little frowny face because he just doesn't
It's
have
not
a chance.
fair.
he does not have a chance. There's too much. Like, for example, let's say let's say Harden got hurt again. Jalen Brunson would be ahead of him.
There's a bunch of dudes just sitting there waiting.
Trae Young would be ahead of him. Kristaps, even since it would be a reserve spot, would be ahead of him. Bam would be ahead of him. Siakam, there's just a very, very slim chance he gets in. But
this is what I was saying. All these guys, they got to come to the East, and Celtics get the shaft.
Yeah, very tough. Same ballot, except you have Bam, I have Holiday. Everything else is the same.
Sam knows what he's talking about a little bit. How about that?
There we go. All right, this is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Our Western Conference. Excuse me. I am very excited for this. All right, starting two guards in the West. Sam, hit me.
I've got Luka and Ja.
Yep, I agree. Both counts.
I've got that because Luka's been unreal.
Ridiculous.
Of course.
Yep.
But Ja, Memphis is first right now, I think.
Yep.
Or first or second. Doesn't
They're
matter.
up there. They are number one in the West right now. They're one of the best teams, and he has been great. That's basically it, right? Like, that's got to be the argument for Ja.
Basketball, his team's playing great. Not a lot to complain about. Not a lot of wiggle room there, in my opinion. I'm a big wins guy. It's very difficult for me to put anything otherwise.
Some people are going to say Curry. Some people are going to say SGA. Ja's
Curry
winning the
was
most
a tough
games.
one. In the first glance, I thought Curry, but then I really thought, and I was like, well,
Ja's winning.
Not really.
Winning cures all. All right. More interesting is the front court, Sam. We both agreed Doncic and John Morant, Luka.
Yeah.
Front court. Who's your three?
Now, it's LeBron's there, and here's why. Because he had all the fan votes, and he's going to be the starter.
I will also say, though, he doesn't actually have as much competition as you might think, in my opinion, at the front court spot in the West.
That's true.
Who's going to start over him? Come on.
The problem is the Lakers are bad.
Yep.
So I don't really think you should be starting if your team's bad. But one, there's not a lot of competition like we kind of touched upon. And two, there's no way he wouldn't start. Like even Kobe at the back end of his career when the Lakers were bad and he wasn't really good, started. Like just it's how this stuff works.
It's the way it is.
Lame. Maybe you don't think it's lame. Maybe you like it. But me, I think it's lame. It's like,
sure.
He's not a force. Like now, in this case, not a lot of guys that deserve it. But in other situations, there might be. Next is Jokic. Obvious MVP candidate. People talk about him all the time.
Amazing.
And I have to double check to see and I had Zion as my last person.
Okay.
Now we discussed the injury and he's going to be reevaluated in 3 weeks from like 2 days ago, I think you said. So
yes,
Pelicans are second or third in the West as somewhat of a surprise. He's been a driving force behind that.
He's been great. Very good.
There is no reason he shouldn't get this honor. The team's successful. He's successful. And he beat being fat. I mean, that's pretty tough. So good on him. He gets the nod. As much as I love to hate on him in the past, he's playing well. The team's playing well. Nothing more you can ask for.
Yeah. I don't have Zion on my ballot, not because I don't think he deserves it. If injuries were not a thing, my starting front court would be Jokic, Anthony Davis, Zion. But I don't know if he's going to have enough games, so I left him off with a little asterisks. And the asterisks, I can never pronounce that word, being that if he does play enough.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, see? Yeah, exactly. You're going to mock me.
Asterisk. That's what it is.
Sam trying to mock me. He makes a fool of himself. If Zion plays enough,
all the time.
If Zion plays enough games, he'll be a starter. But since he hasn't yet, I have Jokic, LeBron, and I have Domantas Sabonis in my starting in the West. Sabonis putting together a great season. The Kings are good, light the beam, averaging. What's he averaging? Excuse me. Let me double check
A
here.
lot.
Yep, Sabonis averaging
Like 22 and 11.
No, I don't think so.
Seeing.
Not even. 18.7 points, 12.4 rebounds, 6.7 assists. All around game, playing very well for the Kings. And for the first time in it feels like forever, the Kings are a playoff team.
Good
5
for,
seed
it
right
is
now in the
forever.
West.
It's
Yeah.
Literally no active players play them in a playoff series.
Yeah. So there you go, Kings. Sabonis, I think, will be a starter if Zion is injured. So put it that way. All right. Top 2 guards off the bench.
Okay. Curry was one. The numbers are there for him.
Yep.
And I have Damian Lillard as the other one.
Okay.
The team success for both of them isn't really there, but the numbers are.
Yeah.
And they're both established enough to where they're not going to get left off, I don't think. I just don't see that happening. I guess this isn't really my picks. It's just my predictions, but
yeah,
I kind of agree with it. Like Curry especially is putting up big numbers, and that Warriors team is still good. They're just not winning. Like you're
They're
just
average
waiting
a
for them to
bit,
turn
yeah.
it around.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be something that flips the switch. They're not the Lakers. It's different.
They're 5-1 in their last 6 games. They had a 5-game winning streak. They'll figure it out. I had Curry, and then I have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as my first 2 off the bench. Shea's not on a winning team, but like, I mean,
the numbers are crazy.
He's been ridiculous. He deserves to be an all-star.
And also,
like
their record's better than you would think it would have been.
Yes, and like you said, like Curry doesn't have the best record. LeBron doesn't have the best record. Dame doesn't have the best record. They're going to get in off name power. Shea is putting up numbers to the point where he should get in off name and number power because he's playing that well. So I'll give him the nod there. All right, this is where things get tricky. Well, actually, first let me ask you: are both of your reserves guards? Are both of your 2 reserves in the West guards? Okay, lay them on me. We'll start there because I don't think that's going to be as interesting.
Okay, so I did Shea, who we just talked about.
And can I guess, is it Booker?
Yeah, it's Booker.
Yeah, I think the guards in the West are pretty obvious. Shea, Booker, Curry, Lillard, Luka, Ja. Like you can argue De'Aaron Fox because the Kings have been good. You can argue Anthony Edwards, I guess. You can argue Desmond Bane. Maybe
it was between SGA and Edwards for me.
Yeah, and if Desmond Bane had played enough games, I think he should absolutely be an all-star. But he got hurt. And if he plays enough games by the time he gets back, maybe he gets in over Lillard or Booker, but I just don't see it happening because of name power. But anyways, 3 forwards off the bench. Hit me with it.
So I have Paul George, who I'm never like floored by, but his numbers are good. The Clippers are decent, and they're supposed to be good. Kawhi hasn't played enough time or games time. He hasn't played enough games.
Same thing
to qualify.
Yeah. We went off 25 games plus, by the way, I think was our marker for now.
Sabonis is there for me. He started for you. That Kings team is finally making some kind of noise. Good for them. Mm-hmm. And last I have Lauri Markkanen. That Jazz team is a lot better than it was supposed to be. And he's been the force behind that. Mm-hmm. So is Mike Conley, by the way, because when he went out, they went into a tailspin.
He's been good, man.
But Markkanen's been crazy. Tonight, he was going crazy. People were betting him to score 50, had 49.
Yep.
So from the sound of it sounds like you agree, Jack.
Yes. I had Lauri Markkanen off my bench, Paul George, and then I had Brandon Ingram as well.
Okay. LeBron not on the team.
No, I had LeBron starting. Zion, I had Zion out because of injury.
Oh, so you had LeBron, Davis, and then Jokic.
No, LeBron, Sabonis, Jokic in my starting 3. I have asterisks. Sorry, next to Anthony Davis and Zion. If they play enough games, I think they will be in. I think the Pelicans need an all-star, obviously. So if Zion is hurt, I think BI gets in. That's my rationale. And then I have, if Davis is healthy, I don't think Markkanen will make it. I think Davis will get in over Markkanen. But I don't think Davis will play enough games, so I'm going to have Markkanen, and then I'll have Zion or Ingram. And hell, if you want to make the argument that they both deserve it over Markkanen, I wouldn't complain either. But those are my all-stars, and I think it's going to be tough. Other guys, excuse me, I have listed Jeremy Grant. I think has put together a solid season for Portland. Not good enough.
Yeah, he was a sneaky one, huh? He was up at the top of the recommended ones on the NBA site.
Well, they went by points, and he's up there.
Yeah, they went by points. Those rats, losers, like way to go by it. Organization.
Keldon Johnson also up there too. Aaron Gordon, another one I think deserves some credit on the Nuggets. They're very good. He's played well. I don't know. I think he deserves some love. He's like the second best player on that Nuggets team, sneakily. Everyone assumes it's been Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon has been phenomenal. So give him some love. De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Edwards, Desmond Bane. I wrote Jeremy Grant twice by accident. There was another guy I'm thinking of. I feel like the Grizzlies should have an even outside of Desmond Bane for some reason. I feel like they should have multiple All-Stars. Christian Wood maybe for the Mavericks, but I don't know about that. But yeah, that's what I'm rolling with. That's what I've got. I think it's I don't know. I think it's solid. I think it'll be very interesting to see how things play out with injuries and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't
There
wait
you
to
go.
not care. Like I can't wait to not watch the All-Star game because I usually don't. I will say this: now they've put that like target score in, it's been way better.
Yeah, much more
interesting.
Much more entertaining. I will say, never mind. I was looking at Steven Adams to see if he deserved any love because he's been good, but no
points not there.
8 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.2 blocks. It's just not there. But he's been
front
good.
court juggernauts.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson maybe, but he hasn't played enough games. I don't know. We'll see. Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane will both make All-Star teams down the line, I think, but not this year. Not with the Stars. Anyways, I think that about does it.
Whip out the cards.
Oh yes, let's do 3. Excuse me. Let me pull up the score. I remember what it is because it's on. We did it on the 26th, so I have the doc ready to go. We do trivia. If for those of you
we have points from the pregame with Tim.
We do. I have it on too. I have it here. I have it here. Okay. Sam is at 36. I am at 26. Tim is at 4 points, but he's only done it with us once. So I'll put a little asterisk next to him, noting that he's only done it once, so he doesn't get completely scammed. Excuse me. For those wondering, we do this deck. Who is the man? Some trivia. Any player that's played for the Celtics, my Uncle Dan gave it to me for Christmas. Shout out Uncle Dan. I know he watches the pre-games from time to time, so excuse me. Maybe you'll see it. But anyways.
Now, I may have an advantage. My head has been in the books as of late, putting together our Jeopardy board.
Sam cheating.
Cheating.
Sam is better at this than me already because I don't know the historical one. So excuse me. We'll see how it goes. I usually know whether or not I'm going to get it based on the date. So let's see. Excuse me. For 5 points. Born in Brampton, Ontario on March 13th, 1991. Now,
I have an idea of who it is already.
I have a guess. I think I've done this card before, but I think I would have a chance regardless. But I'm going to guess now. I don't feel as bad scamming because I think I would have a good idea before. Excuse me. But I'm going to put my guess in the chat. Do you want to guess now or do you want to wait?
I'll do another clue just to make sure. But I have a guess.
This is my version of cheating. You did your studying for the Jeopardy. I looked at like 10 cards when I got the box. All right. Number 2. For 4 points. Made 9 3-point shots during the 2019-2020 season after making none of his during the first 8 years of his career.
Okay, yeah.
Who are you guessing?
Tristan Thompson.
Yes.
It was between him and Kelly Olynyk. When you said 9 threes, I was like, oh boy, like
not Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like in one game.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, okay. I'll take my 5, my scam 5, because I think I've had it before. I'll take from the middle of the pack in case to avoid that. But you're now at 40. I'm at 31. Catching up, Sam. Be scared. All right. For 5 points, and to know if I'm going to get it based on the date. Excuse me. All right. 5 points. Led Ozen High School in Beaumont, Texas, to 4 consecutive district titles and a state championship before jumping directly to the NBA.
They give a date or no?
No date.
I'm gonna go
no
Big Peen and guess already.
I need to go to 4 points, and I'm gonna feel like shit if I
this
get it
is
wrong,
a risk for me because
right.
I don't know if I'm right or not, but I think I am.
I want to be careful here just in case you got it wrong so I can catch some ground. But 4 points. Traded along with Nate Robinson to the Oklahoma City Thunder on February 8th, 2011.
I was right.
I'm gonna go Jeff Green. Is Jeff Green? Am I wrong? Oh,
You're
no.
wrong.
No.
It was Perk. They got Jeff Green for Perk.
Yes. I thought Celtics Thunder, and I immediately went, excuse me, Jeff Green. Big L for me. I wanted to make sure I didn't lose out on
the
points.
NBA. Jeff Green went to Georgetown, too.
You're right. Perkins didn't go to college. I didn't know that.
Nope.
excuse me, I would have gotten this to I wouldn't have gotten this till like the end for sure, but
I don't know where Jeff Green's originally from though. He might be from
for
DC.
some reason I thought he was from Texas. Let me take a look. Let's check his basketball reference to see if I'm truly a fool. I heard Celtics Thunder in my head, and I guess I just kind of jumped to Jeff Green first. From Maryland, look at me, fool.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
fool.
close.
All right, last one. Sam taking a commanding lead, 45-31, off of 2 ones that I should have gotten. Born October 22nd, 1976 in Zionsville, Indiana.
Wow. Oh boy.
Now, I have a guess, but I don't know.
They have to be players?
See, I don't know. That's what I thought too.
Yeah. There, go on.
I'm not going to guess yet, but
I'm
we have
not
the
guessing.
same thought. 4 points. Wore number 31 in high school as a tribute to Reggie Miller. Still doesn't help me.
Jesus.
Still doesn't help me. I got to go to 3 points. I don't know about you.
Wait a minute.
No, don't do me like this.
No, those numbers don't add up.
All right. For reference, I mean, I'm sure you can do math too, but you'd be like what, 46 now?
Yeah, very old.
All right. Rude. 46 very old. All right, 3 points. Played guard for 4 seasons at Division III DePauw University in Greencastle, Indiana.
It's Brad Stevens.
Yeah, Brad Stevens. It is Brad Stevens. Where do you play high school? Where do you play ball? Brad Stevens.
DePaul.
I'm questioning because DePauw, not DePaul, DePauw, DEPAUW. I didn't say it wrong.
We honestly should both get 5 points for that one because we both knew it. It doesn't matter. It's the same. The difference is the same.
We'll give us 5 points. Come on, it's our show. Why not? DePauw. Sounds like I have a lisp. The next one.
You sound like you have a drawl.
Yeah, right. Next one's went 166-49 as head coach of the Butler Bulldogs from 2007 to 13.
Let's do one more because I
hired as head coach of Celtics 2013. All right, yes.
Now we're gonna get another executive.
Right.
You're like Doc Rivers.
Right. It's gonna give us Austin Ainge. Neither of us are gonna know. All right, last one of the night. Excuse me, potentially 5 points. Born in Merced, California on July 20th, 1975. Another awkward age range for me. I'm not sure here. Brutal.
I don't have a guess yet.
Me neither. 4 points, shall we?
What was the date? It was July, right?
July 20th, 1975.
Okay. All right.
No, you have an idea.
No, it's not. I just wanted to make sure.
All right. Excuse me. Won a gold medal as the member of the USA basketball team at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. Yikes. That still I don't think helps me as much as I think it should, maybe. 2000 Olympics. Yeah, I've still got nothing. I don't know, man.
I'm trying to think.
I just don't know.
I have a guess, but I don't think that makes sense.
I'm blanking.
Keep going.
3 points. All right. Selected 5th overall in the 1996 NBA draft after 3 seasons at UConn. All right. Well, I know it now.
Yeah. It's Ray.
Ray Allen. Yeah. 3. Really? I feel like I should have gotten that off the first 2, but I just didn't, I guess. I didn't know he was California.
I didn't either.
First championship with Celtics. Yeah. All right. You want to do one more? You want to make it an even 5?
Okay, fine.
5 is my favorite number, man. I have weird.
Jack and I are going deep. We're gonna just keep doing this all night.
No, we'll cut it here. All right. 3 points each, right?
Yeah.
All right. Last one of the night. Excuse me. Sniffles are killing me at the end here. All right. For 5 points. Born in Murray, Utah on February 12th, 1975. We're getting the 70s today, baby. You know what? I feel like these are in order, and I just picked 3 from the middle. And so they're all in like birthday order, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. But like, I don't think I picked that close.
That's fine. Utah.
Murray, Utah, 1975. I immediately thought Mr. Ainge, but I don't think he's that.
He was well as an adult.
I just made a joke about an Ainge.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That wouldn't be fair.
If it's Austin Ainge, I'm taking 5 points.
All right,
I'm just letting you know. 4 points.
You know,
played for No. Played for 5 different teams during his 11-year NBA career. It's not Austin Age. Can't be Danny Ainge though either. Can it? No, it can't be Danny Ainge. Utah. Who's a Utah kid? Played in the 2000s ish. I've got nothing. I got to go to 3 points. 3 points. Played 4 seasons under Roy Williams at Kansas before being drafted by the Pistons in 1997. I feel like I should know it now, but I don't think I do. I saw Kansas, so I thought
I don't know.
Paul, but Pistons. All right. 2 points. In 2016, appeared as a contestant on the reality TV show Survivor. I couldn't tell you, man. 1 point. Shall we go to 1 point?
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Let me just give it some thought. No, I don't have any names in mind. I'm just trying to think.
Went to Kansas, 5 different teams in 11 years.
He didn't get drafted.
Played under Roy Williams at Kansas. Murray, Utah.
I don't know.
Literally have no idea. 1 point, shall we?
Yeah.
1 point. 6'11" forward who capped his career by playing 22 games for the 2007-2008 champion Celtics, wearing number 66.
Oh,
you're
okay.
gonna get it now.
Yeah.
I don't think I know it now. 66. See, I'm terrible with like older, like anything past when I started like watching regularly. I'm not gonna know. I'm trying to just like pick a random guess so I can, for the sake of it. 6'11" forward, played for the Celtics. I feel like there's a foreign name. Is it a foreign player?
No.
Okay, what is it? Hit me.
From Murray, Utah.
Oh, okay,
Scott Pollard.
Bingo. Yep, Scott Pollard. 1 point for Sam. 0 for me. Tough night.
Tough
boy
night,
here.
Jack.
54 points for Sam now, 39 for me, and 4.
That was a hard one, though.
Yeah.
That one I
was
did not
brutal.
know.
All right. Well, anyways, anything else you want to say before we get on out of here?
No, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, I agree. I need a shower and
when are we here again? Sunday? We're supposed to do something?
Let me double check.
I think it's Sunday.
I'm not going to be home for a few days.
Yes.
We're scheduled for Sunday the 8th. We might have to reschedule because that is Zoe's birthday, so I'll be out at dinner.
Okay. Well, that is a daytime record if it happens.
Well, we're scheduled for a live stream. So
okay.
Could be a daytime live. We can figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe live stream on Sunday. But you probably won't be getting another pod until Wednesday.
Oof.
That's when the next pod is dropping. So, dropping Friday, next one dropping Wednesday. It's a nice little break.
We had the Monday stream pod too. Yeah. So we're fine.
That's all right. Anyways, nothing else you want to say before getting out of here?
No, nothing from me.
I know you're gonna wrap up, but just getting closing thoughts, you know.
I've got nothing off the top of my head. I don't even have like any. I mean, we talked our shit at the beginning.
We did. I'm good to go. And don't worry, everybody concerned. I'm taking my vitamins. I will be hopefully better in no time. I am just right now excited for my train trip because it's very relaxing and I enjoy it. So that's all for me. I'll let you wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you're on YouTube at How About Them Celtics. We're there. Subscribe, like, leave comments. We asked you to say if Luka's fat or not. So do that. If you're on any kind of streaming service, we're there. Follow us. Leave a nice review. That way you get all the latest pods right into your inbox or home screen, whatever it does for you. If you want more of us, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at How About Them C's. Facebook is just the full name of the pod. You'll find us there. You can get all the shorts and tweets, videos, whatever we put out. You'll get them there. Usually pretty good content going out. The shorts have been killing as of late. And if you want more of Jack, at Jack Simone NBA, he had a very good night on Twitter tonight. Everyone was very nice to him because Grant Williams played well. And if you want more of me, at Sam LaFrance NBA, and I'll complain about stuff. That's it for us. Bye.